Hello, Kendall from Reddit Whiskey, recapping the second of my two war attacks, and the first base that I attacked this war that I wasn't successful on was a really simple layout. I could kind of guess where everything was. This base is the exact opposite. This base had a ton of unknowns, and kind of the first thing you have to worry about for my hog raid was to say where are my double giant bomb locations, and there's a potential double giant bomb there. There's a potential double giant bomb there. There's a really weak but potential double giant bomb there simply because it's not between two defenses, but still a threat there. And then there's this spot here for singles or Teslas, this spot here, this spot here. Up here could have been on either one of the sides. So there's lots of unknowns here, and kind of looking at this base, it would have been very difficult uh, to do a hog raid, I think, with all of these unknowns. And besides that, this outer ring has tons of spaces between defenses, which could have been spring traps. So this would have been a really tough. I think the only thing that might have worked to be able to use hogs would have been something like a Hogo Wee Wee or a Hogo Wipe, where I could have gotten to the core to deal with these potential double giant bomb locations. But I still think it would have been a very difficult hog drop. With all of the unknowns. So I actually tried for the very first time LaLoonian, and I wasn't real confident how this was going to work out, but I figured I'd give it a shot. I'd never used the attack before, and with all the unknowns, and this was a little bit of an easier war. We kind of expected we were going to have this one won based off some of the base layouts, and we had them. I think we had one or two extra Town Hall 10s. So, we were pretty comfortable that they had some lower level bases and we'd be able to do it. So I figured I'd give it a shot and see how this went. So my plan was, first you can kind of see Clan Castle. I also noticed there's one X-bow that's pointed to the ground. This X-bow here is pointed to the ground, not up. So, I only had one up X-bow. So first thing I had to do, though, is I wanted to take care of the Clan Castle troops. And my initial plan had been, and I probably should have realized, with as easy as the Clan Castle pull was, they probably would have trapped it to made it not so easy. But I wasn't thinking that. They had some other base layouts that you made you question whether or not they had ever had to deal with holo and hog attacks before. So I was thinking there honestly could have been dual or quad Teslas in the core, and this would have been an easier hog attack. But neither here nor there. My goal was I was going to send a single giant in this way to soak up this Archer Tower fire, so I could have sent in two balloons, and that would have accomplished two things. Number one, it would have taken out this one defense that could hit air, and it would have gotten my Clan Castle pull. And maybe I was a little over aggressive since this was that close to the air defense, but I thought that might work. It ended up not, and you'll see in the replay why not. Then I was going to draw the Clan Castle troops out here, kind of move them back and forth with archers in order to be able to drop balloons on top of them and kill them. That worked okay. Once I was going to do that, then I was planning on sending in, down here at the bottom, I was going to send Golem in with my Barbarian King only, with the plan of some wall breakers to get in here to take out the Archer Queen, and also take out this Archer Tower, so there's another air defense down. And the reason that I'm kind of looking at that is that you can kind of see most of the things that can hit air are at the top half of this base. Down here at the bottom, there's only these two defenses at this kind of bottom half that can really hit your air attacks. So, if I can get that one taken out. And then finally my plan was, I brought two wizards because I wasn't sure what I was going to have to deal with the Clan Castle troops, so that would have helped there. And if not, then I was going to actually send my Archer Queen this way with a wizard here to break the trash ring, or a wizard here to break the trash ring, so that I could use my Archer Queen to take out one of these air defenses. And then from there, the plan was, once the Archer Queen was taken care of, and the enemy Archer Queen was taken care of, and my Archer Queen was working in this way, I was going to start my LaLoon drop. And plan was I was going to send a single hound in this way, followed by, like three balloons, two or three balloons. I can't remember exactly what I dropped. Put my rage spell kind of like right there. Then I was going to send a hound in this way, and a hound in this way to kind of soak up any traps, along with any air bombs, and then so all of these kind of air troops are sending that. And then I was going to do, my balloons here. I think I did 2, 2, and 2, something like that. And, you know, maybe thinking of this second time around, the reason I was sending my balloons in, the reason I kind of started my balloon drop here is once this wizard tower goes down, I know that all of these balloons that I kind of drop here are going to head next in to this air defense. Over here, I probably should have done something similar. Um, I wasn't quite as worried though because I was going to be dropping these so fast that this wizard tower is going to go down about the same time as this archer tower, so the next thing they were going to do was going in. Probably the smarter thing would have been to start my balloon drop and go this direction, and the only reason for that is to make sure that my balloons path in towards the core next. But from there, again, I was going to drop a rage there. I forgot to mention that. And then I was going to kind of just watch the balloons and the hounds as they go and drop rage spells as they would have been most effective taking out defenses. So I was going to guess I probably needed one here and then ultimately maybe, one down here. But I wasn't sure. I was just going to kind of see how everything was pathing and how that was going to work out. And, we'll watch the replay now and realize that I should have been probably a little bit more perceptive on where Teslas could have been because they ended up being nowhere where I expected them. I didn't hit any giant bombs, so I'm not sure where they were. I still probably think they were in the core, especially since none of the Teslas were. But, we'll watch replay here and we'll see how this went completely wrong, yet I was still able to get the 3 stars. So I send a giant in, Tesla immediately pops, so I have to drop a balloon there. So I used an extra balloon that I was planning on. I sent my 2 balloons in there, and maybe if I'd have gotten them dropped at the same time, that would have taken that out, but that didn't work. I'm counting here. Looks like I've got 7 whizzies, so, 6 whizzies, so that means I've got the full pull. So now I'm using my archers to kind of get everything clumped up. This takes a little while. This is probably the one downside to LaLoon is if you're doing the clan castle kill this way, it uses a lot of time off the clock. And this raid ended up taking, I think, 2 minutes and 40 seconds, even though there was no chance I wasn't going to get it, but still took a while. So balloons, that works perfect. Get those taken out. So next I send my golem in and have another Tesla pops and then some skelly traps pop. So, now I'm getting worried. I kind of probably drop my archer queen and my 2 wizards here because I'm worried that it's going to take too long to pull all that out. So that screwed up this side already. I just kind of freaked out a little bit with this being the first time I had done this attack. More skellies pop. Feeling a little better now though. I go to drop my wall breakers and another Tesla pop, so my wall breakers don't work. But I get in because these have low level walls. The archer queen goes down, and I wait a little bit longer here. I should have probably started my balloon drop, but I wanted to make sure I didn't miss Barbarian King's ability. So, first hound goes down. I do 3, 3, and 3. So this is working well. I get my rage spell down. My second 2 hounds come in, and again, as I said, I'm putting them in for 2 different directions. Basically, I want them to soak up as many of these air traps as possible, and I also want to make sure that, these defenses aren't focusing as much on my balloons and more on these hounds. I probably actually should have been a little quicker with the hound drop because I think this archer tower's focused on one of my balloons, and that slows this down a little bit. But first pops, get my rage down. Everything's kind of going okay here. Get the AQ ability going. First hounds pop, so I've got some lava hounds in the back or some pups that are working in the back. I've got 2 more, so I'm kind of just sort of waiting here. I used my rage here to kind of speed this up because balloons were getting into place, but I'm not sure what to think here. I've only got at this point I only had like a minute left, and what's kind of important here for this to work is I really needed these hounds to pop, so I had pups, and you can see one of them goes down, so I'm feeling a little better. I dropped the final rage here to kind of move the last one in, and it pops kind of right here. I mean, that couldn't have worked better, and I think that last one popping when it did was probably one of the biggest reasons I got the 3-star, because I've got a ton of pups up right now, and I had a couple extra archers because this didn't take quite as long, so I dropped them up at the top to help clear since those are the farthest away buildings. But that worked out a lot better than I expected it did for the first attempt. This was it's a pretty strong attack, especially for a base that has a lot of unknowns. So, um, I hope this helped. If there's any questions, comments, kind of leave them, in the comment section here. This was the first of my attempts. The only, the kind of the real takeaways is you have to be. Um, it helps to take one of the air defenses out. Obviously, I failed with that, and I was still able to be successful. But the second part of that is that you want to make sure you're looking at where your balloons. You don't just blanketly drop balloons. You kind of target defenses, and you want to kind of make sure that they're going to be pathing towards air defenses, that they're going to be flowing in one direction. And then, other than that, this attack just kind of takes care of itself. So, hope this is helpful. Please leave any comments, questions below, and thank you for watching.